Now we see a Jund player. He's going to be playing game 3 here against Daniel Duan playing Naya Blitz.
Yep. Naya Blitz has had some recent tournament success, obviously. Probably the most explosive beatdown deck in the format. It's not that durable against resistance, but in terms of just what has the fastest goldfish, it's definitely Naya Humans.
We're going to see Matt get off to a turn that's probably very important for his deck in this matchup, which is a turn 1 Arbor Elf. He's going to be able to keep up, potentially chump block as well, as Daniel's going to play a Cavern of Souls named Human and play an Experiment 1.
And the Blitz deck is one where once someone starts playing the Thrytusks and Huntmasters, you can't get out from under it. It's not like the red-green deck with Thundermaw Hellkite. So these mana accelerant starts on the play from Jund are a disaster for the Blitz deck because any one of his big threats is worth 3 or 4 of Daniel's cards. He just can't weather the storm against this sort of stuff.
So we're going to see a Farseek. Matt is going to search up an Overgrown Tomb and pass the turn back to Daniel. Daniel looking to make that Experiment 1 a little bit bigger. One thing that we do know, Patrick, is that there is a Tragic Slip over there in Hoey's hand. So if he would like to untap that Overgrown Tomb to take care of that Experiment 1, he can do that. We're being informed here, Matt Hoey, his friends also do call him Prince Adam or He-Man.
He-Man's a good nickname.
He-Man's not bad.
Yeah, Prince Adam, I don't get the reference, but I'm sure there's a reference somewhere.
So a little FF fun fact there for my Twitter followers.
Sure. Now, the upside of all of this, if you're in Daniel's position, is Matt definitely needs one of his big threats to make this a thing. If he is just on all spot removal, Daniel can still win this game by just out-threading him to his answers. But it's very hard to win from here if Matt has any of his big Olivia, Huntmaster, Thrytus type threats.
We do see a Tragic Slip there take care of that Experiment 1 before Thai does come into play, not only making it cost more, but evolving the Experiment 1. So now we'll see Hoey is going to play, looks to be a Pillar of Flame.
Yep.
Going to take down that. You see a Farseek and 2 lands in his hand. So as you said, he's able to stop the initial rush here, but can he capitalize on being this far ahead?
Yeah,
looks like he's having a little bit of difficulty.
No, he needs one of his threat cards. And this is part of the problem with Jund is a lot of his card advantage is very contextual. And so you can get into spots where you just have your spot removal and your acceleration, but none of your big threats and no way to find it.
Now Hoey's just simply playing off the top, so as you said, he's going to need an Olivia, he's going to need a Thragtusk, he's going to need a Huntmaster of the Fells type card, as he does Farseek. We know that his last card in hand is a land, so Daniel Duan, even though his first 2 creatures have died, not the end of the world, as this deck can reestablish its footing relatively quickly. So Daniel draws a frontline medic. You see a Flinthoof Boar, a Boros Elite, a Gorklan Rampager, a Cavern of Souls, and a Sacred Foundry. So he can't play 2 threats in one turn if he'd like to.
Yes.
He can play that Cavern of Souls naming Boar, play that, and then play the Boros Elite in the same turn and pass the turn back if he wants. It just, how does he want to go about deploying his threats this turn? That's the big question.
Yeah, the frontline medic gives Daniel a lot of resistance against some of the defensive measures that Matt can produce. If there's a defensive Thrytusk or Huntmaster of the Fells, he can still kind of weather the storm if he has frontline medic active. So a large part of the sequencing here is trying to figure out how to basically make that happen as soon as possible.
So here is your Boros Elite. And that Cavern of Souls did name Boar, so there's your Flinthoof Boar, and he's going to pass the turn back. Let's see what Hoey finds for his draw step. It is... Okay. It felt like a bonfire. It felt like a bonfire. It's just an Arbor Elf, and he passes the turn back. So that's miss number 1 for Hoey. Daniel draws a card. He draws another frontline medic to go along with a Gorklan Rampager and a Sacred Foundry. Patrick, if you're Daniel in this situation, what's your play?
Attack with just Flinthoof Boar, dual land tapped, frontline medic.
Don't want to play the 4/4 out there?
No.
Okay.
Frontline medic is too valuable against potential Thrytusks.
Okay. So we do see the Boar come across. There's your Sacred Foundry tapped. Here's your frontline medic. He agrees with you. Does Duan. He's going to pass the turn back. Hoey draws a card. It is a miracle in Bonfire of the Damned for 3. And you see that he's leaving 3 mana open because that tagged on thing that Frontline Medic has actually relevant here.
Yep.
So Frontline Medic's going to sacrifice. Hoey said, all right, I'm going to pay for it.
Yep.
I'm going to clear your board.
So I think you might see the Gorklan Rampager cast this turn.
Hoey does just pass the turn back. So Bonfire clears up some things here. Duan draws a card. Is it time As you
So
see a
Reckoner.
Boros Reckoner
Can't
drawn.
cast that,
Yeah,
right?
he can't cast that. 2 Caverns, none of which naming Minotaur Wizard, so there's a frontline medic. Doesn't use all his mana this turn.
It is neither a human nor a boar, so we cannot cast it.
Little bit surprised not to see the 4/4 come down there. As Hoey's going to untap, he's going to draw.
Well,
What does he find this turn? Another Bonfire of the Damned.
Well, I don't think you can
Oh,
cast
you're
the
right. No
Rampager
green.
either.
You're
yeah.
no green. You're right.
Welcome to the Naya Humans conundrum that I experienced in the PTQ. You cannot cast your spells, ever. Or your lands come into play tapped, or both. That was my experience playing the deck.
So frontline medic is going to get sacrificed. Hoey's going to pay the 3 more again and just pass the turn back. So can Daniel draw a green source for the Rampager or a source for the Reckoner? What does he draw? It's a Flint of Boar.
That's not bad.
All right, you can give that bad boy some hasty poos.
That's not horrible.
Haste it is. In we go. Get that going down to 14.
We're still, but now Matt has a ton of time.
Yep. What's the draw step this turn?
On
Olivia?
Matt's turn.
No, I think that's Olivia, my friend. It's a gold card. It's a 4-mana gold card. How about that?
Yeah, we can agree on that.
In come the Arborels, feeling brave.
Probably not Olivia if he attacked. Oh, wow. Okay, sure.
Yep. He's going to make that into a 4/4 right now. Shoot that Flint of Boar, pass the turn back.
Okay. We didn't have enough mana to do everything. Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Score 1 for Cedric.
Thanks. Appreciate you.
Boros Charm. A little late to the party.
In we go. If I'm mad, I can't take this damage fast enough.
Yeah, and
We'll see.
that actually, I guess you could have double struck here.
So Hoey's going to take that damage immediately. One thing to keep in mind here too, Patrick, is that while, we think of Naya Blitz as the aggressor in this matchup, you take a look at Duan's life total. He's at 9 because of those 2 bonfires.
Yep.
Those Arborel hits and those Sacred Foundries come into play. One of them came into play untapped. That's how he's going to untap and draw a card here. He's not as high as you would think.
Yeah, but Olivia's going to quickly shut the door on a lot of the outs that Daniel would theoretically have access to.
As Olivia tends to do.
Yeah.
Close the door very, very quickly. So let's see if Hoey is going to go for the win this turn, as he does have a 4/4 Olivia. So 4, then Arborelf, 2 Arborelves is 5 and 6, and 3 shots is 7, 8, and 9. But he's going to play a little bit more cautious.
Okay. Just having to pass the turn here. There's not really any. I guess we're still before blocker. Not super clear where we're here right now.
Looks like he's going to shoot once. He's going to shoot twice. So it's going to make it into a 6/6. This is going to make it into a 7/7. It's going to kill the boar.
No, sir.
Okay, so this is before the declare blockers, it looks like. And so in response, shoot. Okay, so that's going to die. Yep. So 8.
Not standing on the 1.
Yep. We'll just pass the turn back.
Is that Domri Red, also uncastable?
And that's a concession. So Matthew Hoey is going to win this match 2-1. Bonfire clock. That's what time it was this match.
Not shabby. Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, the actual bigger problem was the systemic problem that I think that Naya Blitz has is just the mana base is just too rough. I mean, particularly, I don't feel like you can really sideboard cards like Boros Reckoner. I understand they're very powerful. You can get some draws that enable them.
Yep.
But the reason to basically play humans over other beatdown decks, in my opinion, is Champion of the Parish is very powerful, and then Cavern of Souls actually glues your mana base to some extent.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just cobbling it together with Rav duels and M10 duels, and it's very hard to have the right colors of mana. So you had to lean very heavily on Cavern, in my opinion, to just, broadly speaking, be able to cast the spells in your deck. The minute you start talking about Gore Clan Rampagers and Boros Reckoners, those cards certainly make your deck way more powerful in the games where you draw your mana, but as you saw, there's also plenty of games like that where they're just dead cards in your hand. So.
And it's